You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Well, it's been a long time since our last...
Back of the grid, not great, I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Good job, nice overtake. Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, clear. Here's some information on Hulkenberg. Okay, they're out of this race. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.9 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 7.2 seconds. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Okay, mate, your lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this. Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. Okay, Alonso's in the pits. Joe's in the pits. That's Joe in the pits now. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.0 seconds. Box, we're coming in this lap. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, forget the targets for now. We've got to focus on the pit stop. Okay, let's go now. Come on. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, good work. Great pass. There's one of the Aston Martin cars ahead of you. Okay, mate, Alonso's ahead of you. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Gap to your teammate behind, 0.7 seconds. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 3.5 seconds. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. Yes, great drive, great drive. Everyone here is really happy with that performance. Well done, mate.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
A great team victory today, Crofty. That's the important bit here. On home soil, the drivers delivered, the team delivered as well, and to do that in front of their home support really means a lot to them.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Okay, all the new parts have been fabricated and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome back. And as you can see, the paddock is a hive of activity behind us. More action, though, going on behind closed doors because, Anthony Davison, we are in the middle of silly season. There is speculation everywhere as to where the drivers will move around the grid. Tell me from a driver's perspective, just how distracting is this?
It is a distraction, and it has been up until this point in the season, especially when you're outside of the car. But once that helmet goes on and the visor's down, it's back to business as usual, and that's when you see it all melt away. You're in the car doing what you do best. But yeah, certainly out of it, you sometimes see it boil over. Drivers have a few strong words to say to each other after some moments on track because it is such a stressful environment.
A huge mind game for all of the drivers. We're having secretive meetings, clandestine chats. What is exactly being said, though? Give us a level of insight.
So if you're not performing, obviously, you know, we're in a very brutal world in Formula One where the driver's data is there on show for inside your team for all to see, and you're constantly being compared against your teammate. There's nowhere to hide. And if you're not performing, then your team boss might be looking elsewhere and might not be telling you the full story. So sometimes you seek news from elsewhere in the paddock, even from the media. They might be telling you what's really going on with inside your team, and that's very uncomfortable. And then on the flip side, if you're having a great season, you might be the one having secretive talks with other teams that are performing better than your own team.
Okay, well, we're nearly out of time, so I'm going to send you to the commentary box, and we're going to get ready for today's Grand Prix.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula One action. We're not expecting too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaro ring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, and with me for this commentary this afternoon, former racing driver Naomi Schiff. Let's look at their seat.
Okay, we might be at the back of the grid and it's not the best place to start, but keep your chin up and push hard. It's Formula One. Anything can happen. All right, let's focus now for the rest of the race. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.2 seconds. top 10 now. Keep it up. Okay, mate, let's be a bit more careful about where and when we use ERS, and let's try and be consistent as you use it moving forward. Okay, gap ahead, 3.2 seconds. Joe's coming in for his stop now. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 37.2 seconds. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. this lap, in this lap. Push now. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Right, let's go, come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, mate. Right, we've got a full battery, which means we can use more of it to gain performance. Let's go. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres. Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. Gap to your teammate behind, 32.5 seconds. And gap to the car in front, 2.1 seconds. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Nice move, good job. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
Well, that's
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it pay. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next. Welcome to this visit to the Ardennes countryside. Spa-Francorchamps hosted its first Grand Prix back in 1925, and this historic track is loved by drivers and fans alike. And us here in the commentary box too. So it's a warm welcome from the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps is a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 rights and 10 lefts, giving us a grand total of 19 corners. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in the conditions, we're not going to be seeing anything like that today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old...
Try to put the starting position out of your mind and just focus on the race ahead. We can still do a good job here today. That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, you're in the top 10. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Right, let's not stay behind this car for too long. We need to get past. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, mate, any more front wing damage and it's going to really cost us, so please, let's protect it and bring the car home. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 18.3 seconds. Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Nice move, good job. Okay, well, it wasn't to be this time, but not to worry. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's focus. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Okay, the officials have deployed the... Right, get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race. deja vu here, but there's a good opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. Okay, some information on Ricciardo. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car. Gap to your teammate behind, 3.4 seconds. Okay, good work. Great pass. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of
Okay, mate, we didn't get what we needed there, I'm afraid, but head down, chin up, and let's focus on the rest of the race. Right, I'm afraid we didn't quite meet our targets there, but don't worry about it. Get your head down and chin up, and let's focus on the rest of this race. That wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it. It's a long way to go, so let's just focus until the end. We didn't quite get what we needed out of that, I'm afraid, but don't worry about it. There's a long way to go. Chin up, and let's focus till the end. Okay, that wasn't quite what we needed there, I'm afraid, but listen, not to worry. Get your head down and chin up, and let's focus for the rest of this race. Okay, mate, that still wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up, and focus till the end of the race.
seems as if you have a new rival. This is the perfect opportunity to show the world why you belong in this sport, and to show me why you belong amongst my very exclusive clientele. That's a joke. I love working with you.